Boys are absolutely unhinged
Ugh.
tonight. This is insane.
I know this is gonna be a fun one.
I'm about to get.
I
I'm
do have
about
a
to get
question
way
though.
more.
I do have
I'm
a
about to
question.
get way more hinged.
What is the best backup position in sports? I have a few that I'm gonna list. If you have
What
any
do you mean by
others, let
best?
me
What do you
know.
mean by best?
Like just like the most fun, that to where like that I don't really have to do anything. They pay me enough money. I don't have that tense of a
The
job
the
really.
cushiest job in the NFL is
Let me
backup
speak.
quarterback.
It is the it is yeah, well, I was gonna say either like Division One or NFL like backup or even third string quarterback. That's pretty good. You have like the third or fourth day starting pitcher of an MLB team, like at the very end of your starters list, or even like a reliever or a closer or something like that. For the MLB, you have the backup goalie for hockey. That's a pretty sweet gig, honestly. And then what else? What am I missing? Oh, basketball, like the eight or the nine man on a pro basketball team. Like, what's the best
They're not getting
backup
paid enough.
position in sports?
Eighth or ninth man on the basketball team. You're getting paid a lot of money just for
Or I
being
was gonna
that.
think like baseball, dude. If you're like a relief pitcher or like the
That's not
second
really a backup
closer
though. Second closer, yeah.
or
So
like the fifth guy on like the day five pitcher,
when
starting
you're
pitcher,
if
like
you're
never
talking
gonna get
about
paid,
being
dude.
like god tier at what you do, I put like closer and kicker and if like NFL kicker on a pretty even playing field. You
That
probably
is
make
so
more money.
disrespectful to all of the closers who have ever walked this earth. Holy shit. That's
Kickers put
insane.
as much, if not more, time into their craft than pitchers do. Like I don't know what
No,
is so
dude,
disrespectful
no,
about
dude. The
that.
greatest, the greatest
But
pitcher.
the kicker doesn't have to get in the nitty gritty of the baseball game. The closer comes in for one inning.
Sometimes more.
Yeah,
Not
there's
often.
yeah, two
You
But
two
you
inning
don't
sometimes.
want
saves.
your
Two inning saves happen.
okay. Well, you on average you want your closer out there for about an inning.
Yes.
About an inning.
So you're
But
equating
you
one
you
inning
probably
to how much involvement a kicker has in a game? Is that kind of like where you're getting that
okay.
comparison?
What I'm saying is when you're god tier at what you do, I would say that like I like being a kicker or being a closer would be a pretty fucking nice job because you
Oh,
don't have to
okay.
do as much work as the rest of the team. You have
I get
one
what you're
thing that
saying.
you
Yeah.
really gotta fucking hone
Like
in
Adam
on. A closer's
Vinatieri.
got like three
Yeah.
pitches, right? Like
Yeah.
Tommy went
if you
straight
can huck it
defensive there. Thought you
105
were just
miles an
talking
hour, you
shit.
only need a couple pitches.
Oh,
Like
dude. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying now. I did get really defensive over baseball right there. But like Mariano
yeah,
Rivera
but
and fucking Adam Vinatieri, like, yeah, that's a pretty sweet gig. That's a sweet gig.
yeah, and you probably make more money in baseball, but then
Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
I know kickers a lot of times do that like fucking surgery thing where they shave their hips so they can get like better range of motion or whatever, so they can get better like more powerful kicks. But I don't think you're
That
fucking
would
up your
hurt
body as
so bad.
yeah. I don't think
Is
you're
that common?
I
What?
uh
Yeah. What?
I think it's real, especially for people that are on the cusp of like
I
not getting
know
into
that
the
it's
NFL.
real. I just didn't know how common it was.
I don't know. But what I was trying to say is you're probably not fucking up your body as much as an NFL kicker as in like chucking a chucking a baseball 100 miles an hour because like your shoulder, your elbow, like people, you can you can really fuck your shit up, you
I
know.
mean, you can fuck your
With
shit up being a kicker too. Somebody runs into you.
Yeah, you get drilled. The fucking blocking the PAT block. Some guy just comes
I
flying
don't
in.
think kickers are getting like Tommy John surgery
No, they
and
get
stuff
ACL
like
surgery. They get
Yeah,
ankle
which would you
surgery.
rather have, Tommy John or ACL?
Ooh, Tommy John or ACL.
I
The
don't know.
I think
I
the
don't
I
know. I don't, maybe
I
I
think
opened up
the
a can of worms
technology.
I
I
didn't
shouldn't
want to
even
talk
say like
about, but
technology. I just think like the rates of recovery are probably better ACL wise than Tommy John wise. Not saying you can't recover from a Tommy John, but
You don't
Never.
return the same from a Tommy
no,
John.
yeah, dudes are never the same after
I
Tommy
would
I,
want to
John.
talk
Never the
to
same.
I would want to talk to old guys that used to be kickers and old guys that used to be fucking relief pitchers and see who has a harder life. Because
Well, like what do you mean old guys? Like, dude, they're like relief pitchers. There used to not be a lot of relief pitchers in the MLB. Dudes used to just throw fucking nine innings and like rest for 4 days and do that shit again. Like guys like Nolan Ryan were common. Like
they're
like
all
a
babies
pitcher,
now.
The
A pitcher
oldest that I can
nowadays
find,
might have
goddammit,
one
Tommy.
complete
Yeah,
game a
like,
year. A pitcher nowadays might have one complete game a year. 40 years ago, like if you had one complete game a year as a starting pitcher, you were a fucking bum.
They're pulling them
your
all in the fifth and
managers, your
sixth inning now.
managers, and your roster setup, they're not letting you. They're not. They have enough pitchers that they'll.
Well, you have enough pitchers.
they-
Hitters
they
are a lot
save the
better.
starters.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid shit behind all that, but I think if
I
a
mean, I
guy's
don't think
dealing
we ever-
with
Analytics,
feelings-
analytics,
question.
bro.
No, you haven't really answered my question. What's the best backup? What's the best backup position in sports?
Well, you asked it terribly.
I did, but it's also you I have to fucking deal with. So, fuck off.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Uh, I would say it would probably be backup quarterback. You get paid the most money out of any backup, realistically, and you don't do any of the work. You don't have to come in off the bench like an eighth or ninth man in basketball. A backup goalkeeper for hockey still comes in quite often.
Yeah,
Especially
you're gonna
if you're
throw like
running a
one
two-
night.
if
You're gonna
you're-
throw like one night a week probably as a backup hockey. You got like
Yeah,
one night
you
a
know,
week, probably maybe two.
Carson Wentz. He tried to come in the game.
And Andy
he
Reid
tried
was
to
like,
come in the game.
time out.
It wasn't Andy
He was
Reid.
like,
Patrick
"Whoa,
Mahomes looked over and said, "Yeah, go ahead, sit your ass back down on the bench.
Don't
We
make me
need you."
burn one of
We're
these.
good. So yeah, it'd probably be backup QB, but I would throw out there backup goalkeeper in soccer.
Yeah, because that's one that you really don't come in unless he's fucking up. Like that's the only
And the
time
only-
backup. Yeah.
The only times that you come in as a backup is if your club plays in like a cup competition where they need like it's a lesser cup competition or whatever, and they need to give a break
Mhm.
to the starter. Only other time you're coming in is if there's an injury or unless your starter is bad.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say
But make sure you're playing on a European team. You're not going to get paid diddly squat as a MLS fucking backup.
Oh
fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
probably
Yeah,
not.
that's
not.
that's fair. You don't get paid diddly squat as a starter in the MLS unless you're a designated player.
So like payout versus work output. I'm choosing backup quarterback all day.
What about like bullpen catcher?
No, that'd
What
be
do they
terrible.
do?
How
for the
much you
knees.
making? How much are you making?
What
as
do
a
I don't
they
know
get?
how much
catcher?
bullpen
Because,
catchers make. I'll be honest. I don't know that.
Not
baseball
enough.
guy doesn't know
Like,
ball.
Contracts.
I think-
wise,
I
like,
think you're
baseball and
actually treated like
basketball
a
look like
coach.
where
I
I want to
think-
be, but like if I don't want to do
Yeah.
shit, I'm choosing backup quarterback.
They might designate them almost like coaches, a bullpen catcher, or even like the
Not a
backup
member of the
catcher.
roster, but they're part
Top
of the team.
earners make $111,000 per year.
Yeah, not a chance.
75th percentile is $43,500.
I'm looking
The
for a job in
average-
sports. Like
Wow,
The
bullpen
average
catcher.
is under 50K.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
no thanks, Tom.
And you know,
oh my
those
god!
those guys, like regardless of how padded catcher's mitts are, those guys probably have like thumb problems. Like,
Oh,
Angled hands.
Guaranteed.
Let me just frame a couple pitches real quick and just get hammered in the bone on your.
Well, like
fucking
Sean
knee.
said,
What's the-
your knees are just shot the rest of your life.
What's the
Can't
worst
fucking
backup
walk.
position? You said best backup position. What's the worst position to be a
I
backup?
think
That
we
might
just
be
found
one,
it. Backup
honestly.
catcher,
Backup catcher.
No, the backup catcher,
bullpen catcher.
backup center.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Backup
Coming
center.
into the middle of
You
a
don't-
game as a center with like no real
Offensive
warm-ups.
lineman-
Yeah, no, that
Interior
sucks.
offensive linemen already make
Yeah,
one of the least amount. Not only that, but you have to come into the game, like you have no chemistry with the quarterback. Your reps are completely off. Your snaps are weird. We saw that in the Ravens game last week where
Mhm.
everything was down and left to Lamar Jackson. Like backup center is probably the worst and hardest job.
the only thing I can
a lot
equate
of pressure
baseball
when you come in too.
Yeah. Oh, so much pressure because everyone knows the center's hurt, and like the guy on fucking Troy Aikman's like, oh yeah, when I was fucking playing, the center was real important to me. I like sticking my hand at the same guy's ass. It was a big fucking deal, and everyone's like, oh shit, I hope he gets the job done. The thing that I would equate it to baseball wise is like coming into like play fucking left field in the 7th inning as like a pinch hitter. Oh, dude. especially if there's runners on base.
Now,
There's an
see,
opportunity to score.
You're just coming
That
in for
sucks.
defense at that point, though.
That sucks.
Yeah, I think you should be good enough at playing defense in the MLB that should be a piece of cake for you. I don't.
Well, so
think,
what about pinch hitting
I-
then? What about just pinch hitting in the seventh?
I
Haven't
think
done shit all game.
being cold and pinch hitting would be pretty fucking hard, but hitting a
Yeah.
baseball is also one of the hardest things to do in sports. But like, uh,
That aside,
coming in as fresh legs in a lot of other sports, I feel like is like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Like,
yeah, but also like pinch hitting. Usually, again, if you're pinch hitting for someone, you're either doing it because you're fast, you can get on base, or you're gonna drive in a run. So there's expectation. There's quite a bit of expectation when, nothing's worse than when a guy goes into pinch hit and he fucking swings at the first damn pitch. And the inning ends or something like that. He grounds into a double play. It's like, what are we doing here? Yeah, infield fly roll.
Ah, shit.
Jeez, make the manager look like a big jackass. That would suck. Maybe worst position.
Like a 6-man, it's not just for basketball, but a 6-man in general for all teams. Who the star player ends up getting hurt, and you have to elevate to be a starter, take over that role. Those expectations are very lofty. You're supposed to be the next guy for your team.
The
You-
default
you're not
next
there
man
yet.
up, like
Default next man up. You got to have that mentality. Default next man up. That sucks. Yeah, because like you said, there's like, all
Like,
right,
if you
next
like,
man up.
like,
That's
say-
what everybody's saying, and you're the
let's
fucking
say
next man. You're
skill
like,
position on offense and football, or like defensive secondary. Like if you're just the next guy where they would literally plug you anywhere there was an injury. Like you gotta know multiple positions. You gotta know like multiple different like formations and shit on offense, or like schemes and coverages on defense, and know like what to do in this position, what to do in that position. Which like a lot of times guys in football have struggled to learn their own position. So like when you get the guy that knows multiple, like there's a lot of pressure on that guy. Like,
So
hey,
the
this
ultimate-
guy knows his shit. Like
from what you just said, the ultimate version of that would be being Travis Hunter's backup. And them expect like essentially it's like, all right, well, we have a backup who says he can do the same thing. So if Travis goes down, this guy will run on the offense and he'll run all 100 plays. Who gives a shit? Like that would be, oh my God, to have two types of athletes like that in the same spot would just be nuts. But yeah, no, that backup, like that next man up, yeah, being that guy's not fun.
you're the glue guy.
You are. You're just
You're
so much
you're another
glue,
coach
so
on the
much
field
fucking
too.
glue.
Like you're like
you have to be, or like being like Taysom Hill's backup, like expecting to have like another Taysom Hill or something like that. That would suck.
or being Taysom Hill right now because
just being
everybody
Taysom
else
Hill.
is hurt.
He's a
now
backup. He's
it's-
literally a backup to every position.
I
Yeah.
picked him up this week in fantasy because of a bunch of buys. Like I'm desperate right now.
Like when everyone's healthy, it's like Taysom Hill's like, I can be in two spots at once. And then when everyone's hurt, he's like, I can't be in two spots at once, guys. I just can't fucking do it. I'm only one man.
Oh fuck!
It's the vicious other side of that coin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, speaking of
3
of
touchdowns
Taysom-
incoming for Taysom Hill this week.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.